HOA Karen told me to leave my own pool, so I drained it in front of her guests. Update 2. I pulled out my phone and texted Brian, the real HOA president, someone I actually got along with. In seconds he replied, "That's absolutely not an approved event. Cheryl doesn't have any planning authority. Document everything." I took photos of the crowd, the decorations, the sign, and Cheryl barking at a caterer over the shrimp skewers. Then I looked back at the guards. "Looks like Cheryl lied to you. You can leave before this gets messy or stick around and be in the report." That did it. They stepped aside, nodding awkwardly. I walked back toward the pool, slower this time, burning with silent rage. As I passed Cheryl again I gave her a mock salute. "You'll want to remember this moment," I said. "It's the last party you ever throw in this yard." She scoffed. "Please, what are you going to do? Drain the pool?" I stopped, turned, smiled, and just like that I had my plan. The sun continued baking down on what was now the most surreal event I had ever unwillingly hosted. The smell of overcooked barbecue mixed with the shrill sounds of laughter from people I'd never met, while my own feet stood firmly on property I paid for, but was being treated like an intruder on. The nerve of Cheryl had crossed from laughable to downright psychotic. It was like some reverse heist where instead of sneaking in the criminals were openly throwing a party and daring me to stop them. What made it worse was how completely she had everyone fooled. Most of the guests had no idea this wasn't an HOA-sanctioned venue. They genuinely believed this was Cheryl's generosity at work. I heard one woman whisper to another, "She's so kind to open up her pool like this. She really cares about the neighborhood." I nearly choked on my own tongue. As I stood near the back gate, texting Brian again with updates, Cheryl strutted past me like she owned the pavement. She gave me a side glance and smirked. "If you're not going to leave, at least stay out of the way. This is a big moment for the HOA." I took a deep breath. The kind of breath people take before flipping tables in restaurants. I knew it wasn't the right time to unleash what I had planned. Not yet, because poetic justice tastes best when served with an audience, and Cheryl's guest list would do just fine. I returned to my patio and watched as a man in a fedora started giving a toast. "To Cheryl, the heart of our community," he said, raising a glass of sangria. Cheers echoed from around the pool. Cheryl did a dramatic bow. I just stood there silently, clapping slowly like a villain in a movie, not breaking eye contact with her. Her smugness faltered for a second, just enough for me to enjoy it. She knew I wasn't leaving, and I knew she wasn't going to back down. It was now a war of patience and strategy. While everyone was distracted with their drinks and overly loud yacht rock, I slipped around the side of the house to the pool shed. It was a small wooden structure I'd built myself, painted the same color as the house with a padlock I kept latched but not locked. Inside were all my tools, chemicals, pool maintenance gear, and the one thing that was about to become my secret weapon, a long metal valve wrench attached to the drainage system under the pool deck. I knelt down and quietly twisted it a quarter turn, just enough to start the flow. It wouldn't drain fast, that would be too obvious. This was about slow sabotage, subtle chaos. Let them enjoy their margaritas while the water slipped away beneath them. Back inside the party nothing seemed amiss. Kids were splashing, adults were lounging, and Cheryl was still holding court like she was queen of the cul-de-sac.